All right, nice cough to start the show by Tommy there.
Man.
This is Illini Drive. We are here.
Should give me a little countdown, man.
Sorry, man. I mean, we're late here. We're just trying to start. I want to talk about this Illinois game that's starting before.
I'm trying to pull up a stream as we.
Before we get an actual score. But I'm Jake Hassan. I'm here. Nathan DeHaan's here. He's holding a big foam finger.
Illinois #1 fan.
Nice. And Tommy Polson's also here. Alex Aguilera is not joining us because he is actually at the Illinois game at the United Center. We're all here. But what's up, boys? How we doing?
I'm good. I've had a semi-productive day, which always feels good.
Semi-productive, good.
Well, I mean, I started a little late because, as you know, our class that is in the afternoon. That's my only class today. But it wasn't really a class today. It was just like meeting with our professor. So I kind of got to start late. But after that start, slammed a cup of coffee, sent a few emails, did a few things that needed to get done. Got to do more done after the show. It's a good day.
Love it, man. Hey, Tommy. How are you?
I'm okay. Wednesdays are always a long one for me, so
Sure.
not the best. But got a couple episodes of F is for Family, a new season. Big Bill Burr guy. So yeah, it's not the worst.
I actually just started on Netflix that show Frontier with Jason Momoa.
Haven't watched it, but it looks okay.
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm a season in, and they're only 6 episodes a season, but they're just long.
Okay,
But
it's like the English style,
what?
kind of like the English style with like their TV series.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Peaky Blinders. Like,
Yeah,
kinda. It's
English.
like it's longer episodes, but
Yeah.
it's only 6 episodes a season. But it's good. Jason Momoa is very good in it.
He's just a cool guy.
He's hosting Saturday Night Live this week.
Is
Really?
he?
Yeah,
Wow.
him and Mumford and Sons is the guest.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. They did a little promo with him today. That was pretty funny.
It's been a long time since I've watched an SNL.
I haven't watched SNL since like my sophomore year of high school. I think outside of the John Mulaney episode and the Donald Glover one, which were both this year.
Like live, I'm talking. Like you're
Right.
you're saying the same thing. You haven't
yeah,
seen it
right.
live. I'm talking-
Exactly. Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. But Illinois is taking on Ohio State right now at the United Center. Number 19 Ohio State, that is. And we talked earlier this week about how this team maybe needs to make some changes. Like, guys just got to start playing better. But, I mean, how do we feel about this game?
I'm surprised. I mean, Ohio State's only favored by 5, so closer than you would think probably. But I mean, I guess in what's basically a home game for this Illinois team, I mean, I don't know. Is Ohio State healthy? Is there a reason that it's supposed to be this close?
I don't know. I didn't look into it that. I mean, they're 19. I think they just recently jumped in the rankings.
That's what
so
I'm
they
saying.
gotta
But
be fine.
they've been playing well all year. It's not like they just kind of snapped in and were like, oh, we're the 19th best team in the country. Like they have some talent, but I don't know.
I mean,
it's interesting.
I didn't
Like,
see anything about.
I think that they will probably win by more than that if I had to guess. But I don't know. I mean, it all kind of depends. Obviously, it's been so inconsistent this season for us that, if the team that shows up against Gonzaga and Notre Dame and they play that full 40 minutes, then who knows? But that's obviously a huge if. So I don't know. I'm still trying to pull up a stream.
I remember at the beginning of the season, I think I said this on air, but I know I at least said this to you guys, that I thought there was going to be a key win against Ohio State for this Illinois basketball team early in the season. And I'm not really feeling that. Obviously we're in a little bit different place than we thought we were going to be right now. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how the team does, because we have seen a lot of like compete with really good teams, and then we've seen a lot of let not so great teams push us around a little bit. So I feel like this is one of those games that, you're in the United Center, you get excited for. It's against Ohio State. It's your last chance at conference competition before taking almost a month off. So I think that this Illinois team, I would hope that they can get excited and pumped up and ready to play an Ohio State team, try to grab a conference win. That would mean a lot. But I don't know. I'm feeling very indifferent. I'm looking forward to it, though, and what the box score will show at the end of the game.
Yeah, this feels. I mean, Tommy kind of mentioned it earlier. It feels like a classic. Just Illinois comes out and plays up to their opponent and kind of, plays like that for 35 minutes, 30 minutes, and then loses it at the end. So I'm interested to see that. I mean, we know that that's kind of what this team has done before. Right now, it is 6-5. Illinois is winning. Actually,
That's one thing I will say is, like, as disappointing as this team kind of has been, is they've kind of, in the low end, they've played down to competition, but they've also played up. Obviously, we saw it against Gonzaga. We saw it against a solid Notre Dame team. I mean, there's definitely been plenty of examples where they played down too, but this is a game where they could surprise people. They could show up. They could at least hang around in this one. So I think that might be kind of more what Vegas is seeing than kind of just like the overall records, where they're saying it's only going to be a 5-point spread. So obviously you said it's pretty close early. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Be interesting to see how this one unfolds.
Yeah, 4 minutes in, and Ohio State's only up by 1. Granted, it's early, and if someone gets momentum going one way or the other.
I found a stream, but this Wi-Fi stinks.
Yeah, it's bad.
So,
I can
we'll
barely
see.
pull up the Gamecast right now.
This is tough so far.
But I mean, Trent's got 3 points, 3 or 6 points. He's got a 3. Kipper Nichols got 3 rebounds already. So that's interesting. Do we know who were the starters? Starters were I don't think these were starters. Because I think Adonis started actually. I think he just picked up a quick foul and he went out. Trying to do this.
How
but this
far
Wi-Fi's
is the game actually in right now?
How far into it right now?
'Cause,
It is
this-
currently 16:08 left in the first half.
Okay, so it's only about 20 seconds behind. I can live with that. I found a stream that's at about 16:30 right now.
That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, none of us are expecting a win right now, right?
No.
But
Did we do predictions on Monday?
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't get to this. We talked about the Nebraska game for the most part.
We could do a we could do a
We
live,
do a
bet
live
predi-
prediction.
live bet prediction.
I think Ohio State wins this 78-63.
Here, what if we do a first half prediction?
Wow,
since
15 points.
since the first half will be done by the time that this show
Okay.
gets done.
Okay, first half, I'll say 35-31
In favor of Ohio State.
in favor of Ohio State, yeah.
I'm gonna go 33-37 Ohio State.
Oh, man. Well, you guys are kind of trapping me around here because I kind of want to go around the same, but I also want to make this interesting and have something different. I don't know.
I mean,
Take Illinois, you coward.
Yeah, I will. This is going to be an Illinois game where we're going to lead at the half, and it's going to be a sad second half, and I'll be
Right.
really upset.
right, I could totally see that. Also, the starters were Io, Aaron, Kipper, Trent, and Georgie.
Wait, one more time?
Io, Trent, AJ, Kip, and Georgie.
Okay. So Donis just got in early, though.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see this Illinois team taking a lead into half and then it being it just they get mopped up in the second half, or even like Iowa State. Were we leading at the half at Ohio
We were.
or Iowa State? Yeah, right.
And Notre Dame.
And, no,
You're leading by 1 against Notre Dame. at half.
great. Yeah, I could easily see that happening, and then Ohio State gets it together, whatever their coach says to them in the locker room, and then it all just comes tumbling
Their coach
down.
is really cool.
Who is their coach now?
Chris Mack.
Chris Mack.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's Chris Holtman from Butler.
Oh, okay.
Mack went from Xavier to now Louisville.
I think Ohio State basketball, and I just imagine Thad Matta's just beat.
Right. Yeah,
Just this huge nose.
Holtman came in last year. He was hired in like the same class as Underwood, and he's done some really cool stuff for them. He's very good.
Can you imagine if they did coaching classes the same way they do like Illinois? Or
I think they
college
should.
basketball
It makes a lot of
classes?
sense, I think.
Yeah. It'd be funny to see like who got the best, like who's been getting the good coaching classes over the years.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be really cool. I'd be into it. Do like a 24/7 sports just for coaches.
Yeah, exactly. That's just comparing coaches all the
Yeah.
time. And
That'd be
talk-
kind of interesting, actually. I'm sure there's somewhere that does
coaches
that.
having 3 hats sitting in front of them and choosing between the 3.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That'd be wild. You recruit him out of I guess out of high school still. No.
No, I doubt it.
Yeah,
Well,
they're like
maybe
smaller
maybe there's a
colleges.
rising high school coach that comes in.
When was the last time in any sport a high school coach went from college or to college? I guess.
Obviously,
Penny
it's just
Hardaway? Coaches in Memphis
There you go.
now. I'm
Yeah.
pretty,
Maybe,
sure,
yeah.
pretty sure he did high
Okay.
school beforehand.
he went straight from like AAU, I think.
Oh,
Maybe,
which
yeah, I
is
think
still
that's what it
high
is.
school level.
Sure.
I mean, but like Penny Hardaway played in the NBA.
True.
Like I'm talking about like a Brad Stevens guy.
I mean,
like,
yeah.
there's one that's kind of interesting that like there's kind of a lot of rumors around him right now is the Loyola High School head coach John Holacek.
I did see that. Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors between like actually here to be the possible defensive coordinator, but also just in general, just all across the country. I mean, he's somebody who has made, God, I want to say like 6 out of the like last 8 state championships in 8A in
Really?
Illinois. Like he's unbelievable. His record's stupid since he got there, and there's a lot of things where they're seeing he could possibly. Fun fact, actually, one of my old baseball coaches is now one of the what's his technical title? He does some kind of recruiting coaching over at Morehead State, which is also D1. So there's some kind of
You know so many people because we talked about this last year too. Like like people on like the LSU baseball team, like a bunch of different people. It's very weird.
Yeah, big people guy.
Big people's man.
Yeah,
real man,
of
of
the
people. Okay,
I just have like a lot of random connections like that. You know?
You're just so personable.
Yeah, I would say so.
People like to revolve around you. You're the life of the party, man.
Yeah.
9-6 with 15:45 left in the first half right now. Kipper Nichols and Aaron Jordan and Adonis De La Rosa all have a foul right now. I just in the event that
the UC looks empty.
yeah, I'm sure it is.
It's kind of cool though. Behind the Illinois bench, there's a full row of all people wearing like it almost looks like orange like Lou jackets. Mm-hmm. It looks really good.
I think okay. So I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching.
I don't like the arm
Michigan.
on this mic. It doesn't go back and forth. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't like how there's this speaker in our way now.
Yeah.
Do you deal with this every single time you look at Alex? This speaker in your way?
no, he usually I think he's like he positions himself like over here more. I think
But on the point of Lou Henson jackets,
that was really good radio right there.
Yeah. No, I'm more over here. I'm over here. So Lou Henson Court is the name
12-6.
of State Farm Center's court. And I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching Michigan Northwestern, because Northwestern's got that brand new basketball arena this year. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at the court and I was like, wow, like this is a very nice looking court. And then I was like, you know what, like I think Illinois has got one of like the better looking courts that I like see consistently. Like I think the Oregon court is a little too much for me with like the trees and the
it's way
trees
too
on
much.
it or whatever. And like I
A
see
little over the top.
and I think it was on the Penn State court that because Penn State Indiana was right before that game, it had like you know how they do the chant the "We Are Penn State." Penn State, they had like "We Are" on the court, and I was like, that's a little obnoxious too.
I think that's kind of cool, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to each their own. I think that, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on this. That I think that the Illinois court looks very, very nice.
It's very clean. Yeah, they did a really nice job with it, with like the rededication a few years back.
Yeah, I mean, when was the State Farm Center redone? Or
I think it was
whatever?
my freshman year.
So that would have been
From what I remember, so 2015. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
Yeah. No, they did a nice job with all the renovations. I like the they've got the Lou Henson court insignias on both sides that are really nice, just outside the 3-point line with the jacket. Yeah. Then the overall kind of little. I saw where were we just playing? Who do we just play on the road?
Nebraska.
Nebraska. I saw Nebraska had like a version of kind of our center court where like we have the I and then we have the state around it, and they had theirs
They had the
where it was
M.
like the state of Nebraska, and it just looks stupid because it's just like a weirdly shaped like state
It's
kind
a
of that
bad
way.
state.
What is
bad
Nebraska?
state shape?
Is Nebraska just a square?
It's kind of squarish, yeah.
It's got like a little ridge on this side, and then almost like almost a panhandle, but like a fat panhandle.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
picture it now.
I think like the outline of the state of Illinois works better for like
That's what I'm saying.
because like
Yeah, it's
because the
perfect.
the block I is like an upright, very vertical
it's
logo.
nice. It's good.
And like the state of Illinois is like a very vertical
Right.
outline.
It's
Like,
very simple. It's
yeah.
just
The
makes
shape of an
sense.
N is like wider.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird.
I don't remember if they had the N or if they actually
Everyone
had like the
wants to be like
cowboy in the middle, like the Husker guy.
I think that would be obnoxious. I think you're thinking of New Mexico.
I don't know, maybe, but regardless,
New
like
Mexico
we
has
do have a
the-
really nice looking court. It's a good looking court. I think it's kind of cool that they left the overall just Bulls hardwood on this, and they didn't actually do anything special for this game.
It's got all the bowl.
Yeah, it's
the
What were you
bowls.
expecting them to
Look.
do?
I thought they might have done like a kind of like how like they do like the bowl games where it's like one end zones each side, you know,
Oh yeah.
where they would kind of just do like bring in some like the Illinois hardwood, some of the Ohio State stuff.
Or even just made it looking super neutral.
Yeah.
Like how they do for like the Big Ten tournament. They just
yeah.
have like the Big Ten
Yeah,
logos
right, I
and then
get
have a kind of like neutral looking court.
It is my stream is freezing because again
It's
this Wi-Fi is
13-11 Ohio State
Okay,
with just over 13 and a half
I was gonna
left.
say 13-8. So okay, wow, this
Yeah,
is a
no.
full minute behind now.
Trent Frazier just got a steal, so
Nice.
that's cool.
Cool,
And
cool,
Trent
cool,
Frazier made layups, so 13-13.
Should we just do play by play for this
Just
game?
play-by-play.
But like 30
I've never
seconds or
done
so.
play-by-play. I've never done play-by-play.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
I
a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like I would enjoy it. I just never have really done it.
I feel like Nathan, you'd be good at play-by-play. I feel like me and Tommy are more color guys.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I'm a fast talker.
I'd be the analysis guy.
Yeah. Tommy, let's pair up sometime.
Oh, what's going on here? Just trying to watch some games, man.
I didn't like pop-up ads.
Yeah. Reddit, man.
I did play-by-play for my high school, like football, basketball, and then a few like volleyball, softball games here and there from like sophomore year to senior year. But then senior year, I didn't do football or basketball anymore because I was the student section leader. But I'd still do the playoff games because I know like a lot of people would tune into those.
Right.
One time we had like 1,000 people on. By junior year, we were in the second round playoffs, and we the team we were playing is in the Quad Cities area, so we marketed them really heavily. Hey, if you guys don't want to make the drive, listen to this stream. We like had it like posted on like, their website and everything, and so the majority of the viewers were obviously the opposing team, but we stayed pretty unbiased the entire time. We obviously knew the names of our home team better, but it was still very much a neutral show. And I remember afterwards, our producer was like, yeah, like we had close to like 1,100 people consistently throughout that game. And I was like, wow, that's awesome.
Look at you.
Ooh.
Big time broadcast guy. What's up?
Io just had a nice little assist, or it was Trent that actually threw it up. Or no, I'm sorry, again.
Aaron Jordan
threw
assist,
it up. It was a nice little alley-oop to Io.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
He didn't dunk it, but he had a nice little finish to
Nice little finish, yeah.
roll
Ohio
it there.
State just made their own layup, so it's 15-15.
Okay, yeah, I'm actually fully caught up now.
Nice. All right, good.
Found a
That'll
good
be
stream.
good. That'll be good to hear.
What I was saying, if I did play-by-play, I feel like I would totally I would get way too caught up in it and show like that I was clearly a fan of one of the teams, and it would.
So you'd have to be someone that would have to be like.
You'd have to send me out to like see like. I couldn't even tell you because like
Mac. So we had a Mac football or something. You'd be cheering too hard for CMU.
Yeah. I'd be a big CMU guy. I got some buddies that go there, so yeah.
Of course you do. Georgia just made a free throw. Just real quick while we're like updating on this game,
That was nice.
who needs to be the big? Because we talked about how like Georgie can't be your guy that like leads your team. If you do want to win this game, like who's your guy? I think it's got to be.
I think you need both Trent and Io.
I was gonna say
I was going to say Io.
I would say I don't need because he's been rebounding and chipping in some assists here. He's got to score though because he
Right.
hasn't done that since non-conference play.
I think I need more Aaron Jordan. Because we've all been asking for Kipper, but
Right.
like if I think Io and Trent, like Tommy said, kind of need to be your guys, and Io's got to contribute more in the scoring end. But I'd like to see a consistent 11 or 12 out of Aaron Jordan every single night. I'd love to see 2 or 3 kick out threes from Aaron Jordan. I mean, that's why he's on the floor. He's an excellent, 3-and-D guy, and he might not, wow you with this, that, or the next thing, but I need to see some consistency out of him because that's how he's going to stay in that lineup, and that's how we're going to beat teams is if we have just one 3-point threat that can hang around outside the whole time. Because, I mean, we've talked about it before. Our kick-out game should be strong.
They're showing a little bit more of that so far. There's been a couple possessions I've seen so far where they kind of dish around a few times and they've been able to find those corner threes. And it's just like, it's so satisfying to watch. And they should be able to do that. Obviously, you're not going to go for a kick out 3 every time, but like, it's very doable that we could do that.
Yeah, right now,
at least 2 out of 5
Right now,
possessions.
AJ, Trent, and DeMonte have all hit a 3. Trent's the leading scorer with 5, with Jordan and DeMonte behind him with 3 each. But no, I mean, you're right. It feels like, and like Tommy said, it feels like, and I'm not streaming it, I'm just looking at the play-by-play, but it seems like they're doing a little bit better of what we expected at the beginning of the season. So it'll be interesting. If they win this game, I mean, that's a huge morale boost. You'd be the number 19 team in the league, or not in the league, in the country. And then you go to 3-6, going back into non-conference. You can pick up a few more wins there.
I was going to say, and we talked about it on the show on Monday, how the non-conference schedule sort of then relaxes. You chill out. You play a lot more teams, especially at home, that are beatable. Start getting close to that 500 record, and then enter conference play hopefully with a little bit of confidence. You win this game. You enter non-conference play with confidence. You hopefully blow through the 4 teams that you have before we enter back into conference play, and then you're riding a 5-game winning streak. That's unreal morale. That's we beat Ohio State, and then we went on to beat everybody after that we played. We showed some.
That puts you above
consistency.
500 too.
Exactly. So obviously, yeah, it's more of a morale boost than so much like a season changer. But a win's a win, and it's always nice.
Right, yeah. A win is obviously a win, and Illinois needs them the most. They're in a TV timeout right now, so we'll take our first break too. When we come back, quite honestly, not sure what else we're going to talk about it, so we'll discuss it during the break. But yeah, we'll be right back and talk about some more sports stuff right when we come back.
More sports stuff.
All right, we are back out of break,
WPGU
and
1071.
it is myself, Jake Hassan, with Tommy Polson, Nathan Dehaan, and Alex Aguilera is out today. He is covering the Illinois game at the United Center as they take on Ohio State. The Buckeyes are currently up 22-16 with just under 11 minutes left in the first half. Your leading scores for the Illini, or as soon as it loads.
We might have just had like the grossest offensive possession I've ever seen in my life.
Also, leading scorer is still Trent Frazier with 5 points. Not great.
It's 22-16.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
They're hanging around.
Yeah, they're hanging around, but that's always, I mean, we talked about it in the beginning of the show that they always just hang around. It's never really, they put their foot on the gas and make anything out of it. So that's the issue, but we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully they pull one out. That'd be really nice. If not, on to UNLV next, right?
Was that the next game?
I believe so.
Might be. I don't know. It sounds right.
Yeah, I think they're set. Yeah,
Yeah, it
UNLV
is.
Saturday.
UNLV on Saturday, and then this is East Tennessee State.
East Tennessee State.
Eastern.
Yeah. ETSU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're actually not bad either.
I'm looking at them right now.
I could be wrong, but yeah, I feel like I remember.
24-18 now. But just a quick plug, Illinois Volleyball is playing at Huff Hall on Friday morning at 11, right? I think it is.
Yeah.
They'll be playing at 11. Best team on campus by far. They're the number 1 seed. If they win this, they go to the semifinals. They just have it all going for them. So definitely go and see them. But that's really the only Illini stuff that's happening. So we're going to move on to some national stuff. And we're going to start with the NFL. We didn't really talk about the Bears much on Monday's show, so we'll talk about that a little bit right now. This was a trap game. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they underestimated the Giants, which they shouldn't have been doing with Chase Daniel starting. Obviously, the comeback in the fourth quarter and then sending it to overtime was unbelievable. But, I mean, you're still 8-4 and atop the NFC North with a 86% chance of getting the playoffs according to NFL.com. So,
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing with this week was even though we lost and it sucked, everybody else in the NFC North lost too, and so did the Panthers. So they're still not in a wild card spot. We're still in a good spot. Obviously, it's a game you want to win. You don't want
Right.
to lose the Giants. But I mean, the Giants really, if you look at them, since their bye week, they're 3-1 now. They're playing pretty good football at the moment. So it would have been dumb to just completely overlook them, which I don't think they necessarily did. But going into that game without your starting quarterback, which obviously in the first week, we were like, oh, I don't know, Chase is okay. But this is the week we really saw where we were missing Mitch, and we missed his legs. We missed some of those playmaking abilities he has. And it was tough. I mean, that's a tough game to win. That's a tough place to play on the road. So it's unfortunate. You'd like to see a win there, but they're still in a good position. Like you said, I think it was 86% chance they still make it.
86% according to NFL.com.
Obviously not the easiest schedule from here on out, but you pick up 2 of those games, even one of them, and you're more than likely going to make it in. So
Right. So you still have games against the Rams, Green Bay, the Vikings, and San Francisco.
Right.
As your last 4. So, I mean, yeah, you pick up 2 of those. I mean, I
think 2 of those is a guarantee. One of them, you're pretty safe.
so. You think the Rams is the last real game because San Francisco's tanking. They want to lose. They want Nick Bosa in the draft.
Right.
Green Bay. I mean, is it Tank City in Green Bay now?
I don't think so.
No.
I
mean, you're out of the playoffs, so you figure if you lose out, you got a top 10 pick.
do we? Mm-hmm. What are we 4-7-1 right now? Mm-hmm. You lose out. You're
Currently, I think they're currently at number 9.
Jesus Christ.
I think they're currently at number 9.
Oh my God, I haven't thought about draft picks in so long.
It's so nice to be on the other side of the coin where, like, at this time, Bears fans are usually looking at the mock drafts and stuff. And I got the notification for the other day. I was like, Matt Miller's first 7-round mock. I was like, I don't care about this. This doesn't matter.
I think no, because I think that the atmosphere is or not the atmosphere.
They're still going to show up for the Chicago game. There's no doubt about that.
That'll definitely happen.
I was
yeah.
gonna say, I would say, you want to talk about like a trap game for the Bears. I think that you sit there and you think, okay, every single Packer has then just circled Week 16 on their calendar and says this is the only game that matters anymore the rest of the season.
Right.
I mean, what we've already played our 2 against the Vikings. We'll have the Lions one more time, and then we have one more against you guys. So that's really going to be our Super Bowl, is just to beat the Bears and make them be in worse position for the playoffs than they could be. I don't think it's Tank City, though, just because I think the mentality in Green Bay will never not be to win the game. And I think that it's hard to admit that you should tank. And I don't even know if they should, because I don't even know if we know what we're doing in terms of drafting. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Packers going forward have Atlanta this week, then Chicago, then the Jets, then Detroit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not the toughest schedule either. Atlanta's not good. The Bears are really the only good team.
Yeah,
face left.
easily. So that's why, I mean, you say Atlanta's not good. They have a pass offense. And what thing the Packers don't is have a pass defense. So I could see them throwing for over 400 yards against us. Obviously, you guys were definitely going to want to come out there and stomp you guys if we can. And then
At Soldier Field, though.
And then the Jets and Giants. Those should be wins.
I was kind of listening to Redline Radio, which is one of Chicago's big podcasts for Barstool, and they were kind of talking about the rest of the schedule for the Bears from here on out. And I don't know, one of them was kind of saying like, "Hey, like, I'm scared of the Packers. Like, I still don't know like how we'll feel that game, just because it's still Aaron Rodgers, it's still the Packers." Right. But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know. I personally think we should have probably won that first game. Obviously, a lot of things went the wrong way. It's a 1-point loss. You had a 21-point lead. You shouldn't lose those games.
Right.
And that Packers team, where they were at then, is much different than the Packers that will be coming into Soldier Field in week 15, 16? 15, okay. So, yeah. I personally think those are very different teams. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is still going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's still unbelievable. But I don't know. I personally just think that this defense, where it is now compared to where it was in week 1, is so much further ahead. This offense is clicking so much more.
I don't know about that defensive statement.
I think so.
Your defense, for lack of a better word, balled out against us.
They played great, but I think that overall as a unit, like,
I think they're more cohesive now.
Yeah.
I think like the safeties and corners are playing better together. The line was unbelievable in that first game, and the linebackers were great. But now you have a full up-to-speed Roquan Smith.
Okay.
You have Eddie Jackson, who is now risen
Akeem
to...
Hicks, who's...
Right. Akeem Hicks is now
Akeem
rushing
Hicks.
for touchdowns. You have Eddie Jackson, who's risen to one of the top safeties in the entire league.
I would agree very much that your offense is in a much better position
Leaps and
now.
bounds.
And I mean, of course, you go from Mitch Trubisky's uncertainty at the beginning of the season to very much looking like he fits Matt Nagy's system perfectly, and he is, developing. And like we talked about so much about how fresh he was at the beginning of the season, still not having started a full year.
Right.
And now you're well beyond that, and you're talking about, what's going to be a playoff quarterback. So I think that's where you guys have taken the biggest steps, and also where the Packers have taken the biggest steps back is that
Right.
I no longer have my strong safety.
Yeah.
I got luckily I got a 4th round pick for him though. And and we kind of don't really know. I don't know. The Packers are always injury riddled, and this season it hasn't been as big of names, but it's still sort of a linebacker core, and then losing Wilkerson earlier this season. So our defense has obviously stepped back from where we were week 1. You guys should win this game, but I still don't think it happens. I still
Seriously? You don't think so?
I sit there and I think that Aaron Rodgers and that Packers team is going to want to win that game so bad and want to beat the Bears in Soldier Field so bad that it'll trump any sort of skill and talent.
Okay, I have a counterpoint, if I may. Counterpoint to that, you don't think the Bears want that game at home to avenge a 1-point loss that Aaron
was gonna say
Rodgers
the
led a
exact same
comeback,
thing. Yeah.
and you're either on a 2-game losing streak against the Giants and Rams, and so you don't want to do that. You want that 9th win, obviously. Or you just beat the Rams, you just beat the 11-1 Rams, and you're riding high coming back home.
See, the only reason I say no is because the Packers have nothing to play for anymore. There is nothing, like it is no longer like it's one of those it's like
So couldn't you argue that the Bears would be more motivated than the Packers and would want the win more?
No, I'm saying the Packers are going to be like one of those teams that has nothing to lose. That they
Play spoiler.
Exactly. Sit there, and it's like whenever you would play. It's like when you played the Giants this week. I mean, they're a team with nothing to lose, and they have excellent skill position players, and that showed with Saquon and Odell and all of them looking fantastic. And I think that the Packers, maybe not with like the same level of skill position players, but they're one of those teams that says this is our biggest rival. This is the only game that matters for us the rest of the year. The Bears can look forward to the playoffs, and all we're going to look forward to is Chicago Week 15, and then getting a break.
I mean, in a way, I can see where you're coming from,
Right.
considering like I think of like the Cubs White Sox. The White Sox have stunk the last 10 years, but they hold their hat on. Oh, we might get the Crosstown Cup. It's going to stay at the cell for another year. Oh, it's going to be sick. Have fun in the playoffs, guys. But we got the Crosstown Cup. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Which I could see. But at the same time, then I also think, wow, Illinois football, they could maybe beat Ohio State. They'd have nothing to lose. They want to spoil their playoff chances. And then they lose by like 60. And again, I'm not saying the Bears are going to win by 60 because obviously that's not going to happen.
I think an Illinois football, Ohio State football comparison
of course,
is a little.
you're not wrong at all. I'm just saying, like, the motivation factor alone, I think, kind of both teams will want it as much because they could be 0-12 heading into this game, and they're both going to want to beat the you know what out of each other.
One.
And so that's not going to change no matter where it is in the season. And I think that Nagy, maybe in years past with like a John Fox at the helm, who's not really going to get in there, get his players pumped up, who's just going to say, hey, go out there and play football.
That's true.
Nagy's going to get these guys fired up.
Yeah.
And I think that there's no way in the world that they come out flat in that game like they did in New York. And I don't know.
That's also my thing too. I don't think like Bears teams of years past, I'd be like, yeah, this is a game like where Green Bay easily, like this is a totally different team, totally different feel, chemistry, like environment around. I think they beat the Packers in that game. I do think the Bears probably finish after this Rams game. I think they might win out and finish 11-5.
I wouldn't say that. I mean,
You don't think they beat San Francisco, Green Bay, and then they're riding high and trying to finish on a 3-game win streak and put the Vikings away?
Yes and no. Or I think that's possible. It's definitely a way it could happen. I mean, I don't even think that competing with this Rams team is out of the question. I think that we match up pretty well with them, to be honest. I think their defense, obviously, Aaron Donald's a star, and they've got
that whole line.
Their line's great, but like outside of that, their defense really hasn't performed to what it should be.
That's true.
They haven't. So
Sleeve's been out. They've been missing their top corner.
And Sleeve's back now, and that's that.
Is he playing this week?
He played last week.
But like Marcus Peters has been abysmal for what his standards was.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is like this team. Obviously, there's a lot of big names, there's a lot of huge players, but I just personally like I think that defensively their team is kind of very like line oriented. And obviously, they've got that Donald, they've got that Sue, they've got amazing pieces there. There's no denying that. So running the ball with Howard probably isn't going to be something we do a lot. Yeah. He's probably not going to have many touches this week.
Going to be a lot of Tariq Cohen.
Right. A lot of Tariq Cohen, a lot of just nice little dump offs from Mitch, a lot of
Taylor Gabriel.
It'll open up some Taylor Gabriel. It'll open up some Allen Robinson, who was phenomenal last week. And then on the other side of the ball, I think that obviously Goff's been very good. But he has really kind of relied on those 3-step drops, get that quick out route, hit Todd Gurley or hit Cooper Kupp or any of these guys.
Cooper Kupp's out.
Right. Kupp's obviously out, but he's kind of relied on almost like a little dink and dump system.
Right.
And what I think that this Bears defense is going to do really well against that is Todd Gurley kind of thrives on getting some space up the middle, have a little hole. Akeem Hicks is not going to let that open up very often.
Right.
And then when you can't run up the middle, you got to try the sides. In that case, you're going to Leonard Floyd and Khalil Mack and Roquan Smith, my guy. That's not going to be very easy for him.
Right.
And Todd Gurley is an amazing player. Obviously, he's going to get his, but like there's a way to limit him, and I think the Bears defense can do that. And then from there on, what are they going to do? Are they going to have Goff aired out the whole game? Because I think that the Eddie Jacksons, Amukamara, and all those guys, Fuller is obviously having an amazing year.
Yeah. Kyle Fuller leads the league in passes defense.
That's what I'm saying. And obviously, some product of that is people throwing at him, but at the same time, he's delivered. So I think it's a pretty good matchup for the Bears. If this was in LA, I think it's a different story. It's much tougher, but at home in Soldier Field in bear weather and 20 degrees this weekend.
It's going to be, it's projected to be 26 degrees, I think.
I don't know. If I had to pick that one, I think the Bears. And then you say you get that one, that's your 9th win. Then you've got San Francisco, I would say, is a win.
Yeah.
And then you're at your 10. That's probably clinching it.
Yeah, that probably wins it.
And we're 10.
Because the Bears' magic number is 3, some combination of Bears wins and Vikings losses.
Yeah. So you get that. Then you really, I mean, especially if you get a Packers win in there too, which I would think we're going to beat them. I think it's going to be a very, very close game, but I do think we will beat the Packers. Then you're looking at 11 wins right there. You really don't have to play everybody against the Vikings, have everybody fresh going into the playoffs. So
do like a preseason move where Nagy set everyone.
Have Chase Daniel ball out that game.
Reminder: beginning of this show's life, we predicted the Bears season. I said 7 wins. Alex said 8 wins. Jake, you said 10 wins, and Tommy, you said 11 wins. We're looking like either one of you two is probably going to hit. Unless you're winning out like Tommy predicts you are.
I don't think we're winning.
No, I said I could see them winning out after this Rams game. I could see it.
But Tommy's got him against the Rams.
I have
true.
us
That's a
beat.
good
I
point.
do think we're going to beat the Rams. I think we'll beat the Packers. And then I think we'll lose either the 49ers or the Vikings. I would assume it'll be the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, just looking at LA's schedule, they haven't played any like cold weather teams yet this year. The only team that you could have argued for was Denver, and that was in October, so it was still relatively nice there.
I think it's going to be such a big shock to them to really
You think?
come in. To
Like
that
getting
20
hit in
degree,
that cold weather?
to get smacked in that cold weather. And like I said, I just think that, I mean, I don't know, Nathan, I'm curious what you think on like kind of what I just said with those matchups. I feel like the Bears are so kind of well built to play against an LA type team.
Yes, yes and no. I also think that if you sit there as a fan and you start breaking everything down, you sort of lose what a coach might think, and you
Yeah.
got to recognize the offensive genius that is Sean McVay.
Right. And I don't want to take away from that because he is good.
McVay versus Nagy is going to be extremely
Exactly.
fun.
So that's why I agree with your matchup point about how there's a lot that benefits the Bears, especially if they try to run Gurley, and since it's a cold weather game,
Yeah.
and how good that defensive front is for the Bears to begin
Cali
with.
Boy, Jared Goff.
And then as soon as they start passing out wide, like you said, the Eddie Jacksons and the Kyle Fullers and that of the world, I just think that the Rams are so good and they are so creative that even with all those matchups, Sean McVay might find like one or two places here or there that he sort of, I mean, maybe it's the quick routes, maybe it's setting up, two or three run plays and then getting like a drive going, all of a sudden airing it out deep and being able to find a Brandon Cooks just releasing long.
Forgot about Brandon Cooks.
I just think that
He's having a great year.
I just think that the Rams are so creative and so versatile that it's hard to say that the matchups work out well for them when we've seen that pretty much everyone they play against, even if they had somebody that they can match up against somebody else, they had an answer for it. I don't know if a team's matched up as well against them defensively as the Bears do, because the Bears do have one of the best defenses in the NFL. So I'm excited for the game, to say the least. It will be very exciting to, like you said, see Nagy versus McVay.
Yeah, that's going to be extremely fun to watch. Just an update on the Illinois game. It is currently 30-28 with 4:41 left in the first half. So Illinois sticking with them. What's up?
I'm not behind too much then. What I just saw was at 4:48, Ohio State missed a free throw, so I'm assuming Io gets fouled.
Io's
here.
about to get
Yeah.
fouled, and he makes one or two free throws.
Kipper's got 11. Or not, my bad.
Trent's got 11.
Trent's playing well.
Kipper's got 3. Georgie's got 3. Aaron Jordan's got 3. Io's got 3. De La Rosa's got 2. DeMonte has 3. And Feliz has 0. So, I mean, Illinois is hanging with them. I mean, I'll give them that. We'll see if they can keep it within 2 or 3 at the half and then start the second half with some momentum. But something that we didn't talk about on Monday that we'll talk about really quick, the Bulls fired head coach Fred Hoiberg. My only thought was Hoiberg, I think he was never set up for success. He never got the players he needed. He never got the support he needed. And then this year he was missing Chris Dunn, and he was trying to fit Jabari Parker in there somewhere.
And no marketing.
Marketing was out, yeah.
Your brightest star
Right.
from last year and your future player. You don't have him to play with. I mean,
Who looks good so far, too.
he does look good. I mean, the Bulls are bad. We get everyone knows
Right.
that the Bulls
They are
just
trying to tank.
bad. They're trying you fired Fred Hoiberg because why? Because the Bulls are bad. The Bulls were going to be bad. They're a bad team that's tanking to get one of these Duke stars or whoever they can get in one of those first 5 picks. So I don't really know what more you could have asked for. I mean, I look back at some of these games too. It's a 1-point game against the Nuggets a while ago. It's a you're hanging in there with some of these teams, and yeah, you get blown out every now and then. You lose by 30 or 40 to the Raptors. Like, it's gonna happen, but you hang in there with some teams. You keep it exciting. Everyone knew this was gonna be a bad season. Like, what do you think the head coach was the reason? It was injuries. It was
Right.
poor talent. It was spending money on a power forward that said he didn't want to play defense. Like,
Right.
it just didn't make sense. So I don't really know. I don't have an answer for why Fred Hoiberg's fired. I don't really know who I want to coach afterwards
Right,
either.
I feel like there's not one big name that's out there for them to go get.
So who took over as their interim head coach?
Jim Boylan.
Yeah, Jim Boylan,
Yeah.
who's been like with them forever.
So
Yeah, he was a holdover from the Thibodeau
He was,
staff,
yeah.
right?
I believe.
His first thing he said was, "We're gonna get better conditioning, and I'm a more
Yeah.
emotional in-game coach," he said, than Fred.
I think I saw that was like, there were some conspiracy theories.
Tom McCain's in the game.
Yeah, there were some conspiracy theories I saw that like where Boylan made those comments, kind of saying like, "Oh, we're gonna get a lot better conditioning," and some people were saying like, "Well, like, couldn't he have influenced that before?"
Right.
And so some people were saying like, "Oh, he's just waiting for this to happen, for Hoiberg to get booted, so then he can
he could
finally
turn
take
this
over
around.
and turn this around. So I don't necessarily believe that, but that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
I love a good conspiracy
yeah,
theory.
he was gunning for the job the whole time, so he didn't ever really.
There's a lot of people also saying that, like, kind of behind the scenes, he was really the one that was kind of already running the show, and Hoiberg was kind of just more of like the kind of,
Tactician.
yeah.
I mean, I believe that because I think that was the point. when
Right.
Boylan was a holdover. But, I mean, to Nathan's point, there's really no one out there that you're like, oh, I want him to coach this team. I mean,
Coach K.
yeah, right. That's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, there aren't any, like,
He doesn't
other,
want to coach Wendell and then Zion next year.
I think
Yeah,
even
so-
more than that. Try and get Calipari back.
Exactly what he wants to do is jump ship from this dynasty he's put together at
Right.
Duke right now and go
Exactly.
and coach the
Dude,
struggling
who,
Bulls.
Who would be better? Because he'd get more than likely another one of his guys next year.
Yeah.
You could bring in like John Shire along with you to be
we really
like a
gonna go
bench
down
coach.
this road? We're really gonna fantasize this hard?
Also, the Bulls are the first team to 20 losses this year.
Beautiful. Tank City, baby.
5-20.
That's
I'm,
it.
Five
I'm-
and
I'm looking
20.
at this team. The highest paid player on this team is Jabari Parker with $20 million.
And he's gone.
Is he
after-
making-
and he's probably got I'm
Is he
looking at-
making more than Levine?
Yes. Zach
Levine
Levine is making 19.5. So right underneath
Okay.
him.
and on annual average salary, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Then we got Robin Lopez. Cristiano.
He's on the team still?
Oh yeah.
No way.
I don't think he's playing very much, though.
He's not.
There's no way he's.
I
still
think
on the
I
team.
think his
But he-
contract's up, too.
But he's making $14.5 million. You know he went to Stanford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and his brother both.
Interesting.
Good for them.
They were awesome. I actually remember that tournament team. They were awesome.
All right.
Yeah, really
How do you say is it it's not
Feliz.
no. The
Oh,
Cristiano Feliciano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds
They
like,
gave him a 4-year contract a couple years back thinking he was going to be something. I remember that.
and they're giving him $8 million this year for it. Laurie Markkinen and Wendell Carter then sit there around like $4 million, and then you just start reaching the Justin Holiday, Chris Dunn.
They're about to get paid.
They should get paid. They should get
Who,
paid as
Carter and
as they start
Laurie?
to build this team.
Yeah. Not Carter so much, but Laurie, like once, like probably.
I mean, he's only in
they're
his
gonna-
second year.
But they're going to go for an extension soon, I think.
They have.
You'd rather get that extension out of the way, pay him early, and then get somewhat of a break
Yeah,
than
so-
have to pay him full price down the road.
What kind of player would you like the Bulls to sign to get this draft?
Zion Williamson. Ideally, if I could pick anybody in this draft, I'd go RJ Barrett.
I think, yeah.
But
RJ
he's
Barrett, I think.
unless the Bulls end up with the one pick, he's probably gone. Because
I think he's
him,
one,
him
yeah.
or I've seen him or Reddish are probably the number one picks.
I personally would like Zion over Radish just because I think we need some.
There's
like,
more there.
I think there's more there. He's got the potential. He's got the body already. Like he could. He doesn't. He might not have as high of a ceiling as like a Radish would, but he will step in and be a baller right away.
You and put him at small forward,
Yeah.
and so then you run Carter, Markkinen.
You could do a huge lineup,
Christ,
which would be
huge.
awesome. Levine.
Dunn.
So no,
Dunn,
I guess
Levine.
Dunn Levine. And Dunn himself is a pretty big guard.
Yeah,
So you
he's
go
good.
Dunn
He's 6'4".
Levine,
Zion.
Zion,
Laurie,
and then
Wendell.
Yeah, which I think is a very strong start.
That's very athletic, too. I mean,
Super athletic.
because Laurie and Wendell can move a little bit.
Yeah.
More than a little bit.
They both shoot threes. They both have great
Yeah.
3-point shooting percentages. They're both very, very strong players.
Very interesting.
I love Laurie, dude.
I do too. I love Wendell Carter. He reminds
been unbelievable.
he like reminds me of like an old school
He is.
power forward center that just rebounds and like does everything down low that you need him to do, and then every now and then he takes a step out and hits that J.
Yeah,
You're like,
it's.
ooh.
I remember it's kind of funny, like because both the last 2 years when they drafted Laurie and then when they drafted when they drafted Laurie and then they took Carter. At first, I was kind of like, okay, like fine. At first, like because I thought Laurie was going to be pretty soft, and then I watched him with
Then
the
he was
Bulls, and I was
a
like,
baller.
wow, okay, like this guy is my future team leader. Fine, awesome. This guy's great pick. And then Carter, I was kind of always like, because we really didn't see what Carter was at Duke. We saw some flashes.
He was in a very limited role. There.
He always played second hand to Marvin Bagley and all these other guys, and we never really saw what he was. And then I watched him in the preseason this year, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what we drafted. This
Yeah.
is why we drafted him, because he's the perfect modern big man. He can do it all.
Right.
And he's great for the system. Obviously, he would have fit well in what Hoiberg wanted to do, but obviously he's a nice piece to build off for the next coaches too. So I do like him a lot. They've done a good job drafting.
Yeah, I think the Bulls, they're definitely going to sign a bunch of guys once they get rid of Parker and I think probably Robin Lopez too. They'll
Yeah.
sign a bunch of guys in free agency.
Oh, I think you just save up for Anthony Davis.
That's not for a few years, though. We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
I think
not-
he's gonna opt out after this year, though.
Does he have an opt-out?
He has to, dude, because they've been talking about him coming home after this year forever.
Huh. maybe then. I don't know.
And then we draft Zion too and just body everyone.
You put man. All right, let's think this one through. So this way we've got so you've got Anthony Davis at the 5, Wendell
Laurie.
Carter at the 4, Laurie at the 3,
Oh, God.
Zion at the 2,
and
Levine
Zach
point
LaVine
guard. Oh my goodness.
A whole lot of dunks.
trees.
That team,
trees.
that's like the Florida Gulf Coast team that made the Sweet 16
Yeah,
run. They're just
lobbing
lobbing everything. Zion wouldn't even leave the backcourt. He'd just be chucking them up to whoever's running down the court.
Yeah, we'll just run a football offense with just Zion just kind of like
Air raid.
Yeah.
Air raid
Oh
on.
my God. This would be amazing.
Few ball screens, somebody coming around in the back and just
Right.
lob.
This would be
Triple
amazing.
option.
All right, at
Easy.
Bulls.
Easy.
You know what we want.
Illinois is now up 31-30 with
are.
just over 2 minutes.
What
to
were our
go in the
halftime
half.
predictions, Nathan? You didn't write them down?
I think you guys said like 33-30 somewhere.
I
around
said
there.
33-37. You said 35-32.
I was the only one that took Illinois though.
Yeah.
You were. That's true. It's now 31-31. All right. Well, we'll move on to the last topic of the day. The St. Louis Cardinals traded for Paul Goldschmidt today. They sent a package of Luke Weaver, Carson Kelly, and Anthony Young to Arizona, which is a very underwhelming package. I thought they were going to have to give up a lot more. Goldschmidt's not obviously, I guess, but Goldschmidt's only on a 1-year deal. He's in the last year of his deal, so the Cardinals are going to have to try and extend him after this.
Get paid.
He's going to get paid for sure. I mean, he's going to
He
be
is
31.
31.
He's going to be 32
Yeah,
at
he'll
that
be
time
32.
too. But still, I mean, he's been one of the best offensive players in the league the last, I think, 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, he's a
6-time
monster.
Silver Slugger, 3-time Gold Glove. Been in the top 3 of MVP voting multiple times. 900 something career OPS. He's unbelievable. I'm really happy the
Yikes.
Cardinals got him. They didn't have to give up much for him. I thought they were going to have to give up a Dakota Hudson or a Jordan Hicks or an Alex Reyes to get him. Didn't. You keep all your blue chip prospects. That's great. And the Cardinals are still probably going to finish second in the division. They need to do more. They absolutely need to do more. But, having Paul Goldschmidt, having one of the best first basemen in the league is an awfully nice pitch to Bryce Harper.
Did you say the best first baseman in the league?
One of the best.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
And this brings up something I was talking with Jake about right before the show. So probably the best top 3 in the top 3 first basemen now all reside in the NL Central, with Goldschmidt, Rizzo, and Votto. Right?
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't think of anyone else. I mean, because let's go through it. AL East, Red Sox, Steve Pearce, Yankees, some combination of Greg Bird and Luke Voigt, Toronto, Justin Smoke, Tampa Bay, a bunch of just guys.
This is really impressive. This is really impressive that you know every team's first
Baltimore, Chris Davis. Woo! AL
We're talking like 2013, maybe.
Right. Now, current time. AL Central, Jose Abreu. Okay, maybe you make an argument there, but
I think
mean,
he's
I
I feel like those 3, like the ones we mentioned,
Are
so
above him
Votto,
still.
Rizzo, Goldschmidt are like the top tier,
Right.
and then Abreu like leads that second
so,
tier.
so when you go
All right, keep going.
AL
This is impressive.
AL Central, the White Sox, Jose Abreu, the Indians, some combination of Yonder Alonso and Edwin Encarnacion. That's nothing. The Royals,
Who cares?
yeah, no, I mean like Whit Merrifield,
Who cares?
like a bunch of different guys. Salvador Perez probably playing a couple games there.
Used to be Eric Hosmer.
Eric Hosmer's in San Diego now, dude.
Yeah, but it used to.
Used to be, yeah. The Twins, Logan Morrison, yuck. What team am I missing from the AL Central?
Indians.
Said them. Indians, White Sox, Twins,
Tigers.
Royals, Tigers. Miguel Cabrera, he's washed now.
Poor guy.
That's the same thing. Like 2013, maybe.
Yeah, sad story.
AL West, the Angels have Albert.
Illinois is
washed.
now up 37-32. Just for a quick.
Oh yeah, they are.
117
in-
left in the half.
According to E ESPN, they are now favored to win this game, 52.8%.
We have a lot of momentum. DeMonte just drew a huge charge.
That's
Wow, that
interesting.
was awesome.
Live bet Ohio State.
Right, yeah. AL West, Albert. Angels is Albert. A's or Matt Olson. Matt Olson will be good. I don't think he's better than any of the 4 we've previously mentioned. Houston, Yuli Gurriel, he's fine. Houston was actually in talks to get Goldschmidt too, so that makes sense. Mariners, some combination of Carlos Santana and Dan Vogelbach. That's nothing. Who am I missing from the AL?
I remember
The pod, no, the
No.
Athletics.
Said them. Angels, A's.
Rangers.
Rangers, Joey Gallo, just power. I mean, he's nothing. I mean, he's not nothing. He's a pretty good player, but. And then NL East, first Nationals, Ryan Zimmerman, no. Miami, no. Mets, who's going to play first with the Mets now? Probably Peter Alonso. He's a great prospect. He won't be there yet. Braves, Freddie Freeman. He's in that top tier.
Jeremy Werner tweeted out a stat saying there has not been one Ohio State field goal in the last 640.
Wow. Yikes. That's not good.
That's very good for us.
The Phillies are now going to be going to, I think they're going to sign someone. Hoskins. Is Hoskins in that top tier? I think the top tier is the three.
He's getting there.
Yeah, he's
the
got some
next
time.
You still think
generation
he's
of
in
it.
that Jose Abreu
Yeah,
range?
right now.
Freddie
think he
Freeman's
is.
top tier, though.
Yeah. You can get Freeman's for sure in there.
Yeah, so
Central, we already listed. I mean, the Pirates are going with Sean Rodriguez, I think.
It has been, yeah.
And
Who again, like 2013, sure, but
right. I mean,
Not
he
even
was
then,
he was
but
never
yeah.
very good, but I mean, he's fine. In the NL West, Hosburn, no. No, I'm blanking on who's. The Diamondbacks just traded away Goldschmidt. No.
Yeah.
Colorado, Ian Desmond. No. Dodgers,
Cody Bellinger.
maybe.
He's not top two.
He's in that second tier still.
I feel like he almost might even be the top of a third.
Really?
I just like, to me,
Also, they used Bellinger mostly in the outfield. Muncy was their
Yeah.
primary first baseman, who, again, second tier. I mean, he's in that Jose Abreu, Reese Hoskins range. So, yeah. I mean, the top three first basemen all reside in the NL Central.
So I looked it up, and this one says 2018, so it's the start of this season. And they listed number 1, Joey Votto, number 2, Freddie Freeman, number 3, Paul Goldschmidt, number 4, Anthony Rizzo, number 5, they had Cody Bellinger, but obviously this season we saw him used more as sort of a center
Outfielder.
fielder, at least when it came to the World Series or
In the regular
playoffs.
season, too.
Number 6, they had Jose Abreu. They were pretty high on Jose Abreu. 7, they had Encarnacion. I guess.
He did a lot of DHing, though.
Yeah,
too,
so I'm again. This is before this season, so everything that we've seen recently changes that a little bit. 8, they had Brandon Belt. 9,
I forgot about him. Yeah.
9, they had Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, I mean, Carpenter's going to be at third now, though.
Yeah.
Which is fine, by the way. A lot of people are complaining about that. That was actually his best rated defensive position.
And then 10, they had Carlos Santana.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy about Goldschmidt. I mean, I think he really he takes this Cardinals team from an 88 win team to probably a 90, 92 win team. He puts them in that 90 win category. I still don't think they're better than the Cubs. I think they could compete with the Brewers. But I mean, the Cubs had down years from Bryant, everybody pretty much. So, I mean, the Cubs in a normal year, a 100-win team.
So, like, it's crazy to me to, like, think it. And I thought to myself earlier, I was like, wow, like, the Cubs should do something. And then, like, I thought about it and I was like,
What can you do?
bullpen. You can bring up Bryce Harper, or you can, obviously the bullpen's a huge area that we can improve, but it's just like, if everybody returns to what they should be,
Right.
that alone is like bigger than any acquisition any team could make this offseason.
No, I agree with you.
Because I think Chris Bryant at his peak is a top 3 player in baseball.
Correct.
Rizzo, without the horrible first half, is another top 2 to 3 first baseman, and
he's
he
one of
even
the-
was last year.
He's one of the top first basemen in the league.
And then, I mean, really, if you just get solid performance from everybody else around it, you get Wilson Contreras to find that middle ground between last year and his first big year. That's another huge improvement.
If the Cubs traded for JT Realmuto and sent Contreras somewhere else, would you be fine with that?
No.
No? Realmuto's under control for 4 more years.
Yeah, and so it would take a little bit for me to
Adjust.
come to terms with.
Yeah.
Because Willie's like, he's
Heart and soul.
I love my
behind
Spanish
Rizzo.
Cubs.
Behind Rizzo, he's the heart of this team.
Right.
So, oh man, it would hurt to give up Willie, but if you're getting Realmuto out of it, sure, I'm okay with it.
Right.
He's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Goldschmidt's the top player. I love it. Illinois is up 38-34 at the half. So that'll be interesting.
it.
That was pretty real close to what
Go
we
me.
said. And I'm just going to throw these Goldschmidt stats out here real quick to end this show. At Pittsburgh, slashes 286, 374,
He
473.
smacks against us.
At Cincinnati, 278, 381, 567, 948 OPS. In St. Louis, 302, 402, 488, 890 OPS. At Wrigley, 337, 433, 578, 1000 OPS.
Yuck.
At Milwaukee, 420, 500, 807.
Oh, that's good, though.
1300 OPS.
That's good, though. Screw the Brewers.
So he's even better against the Brewers.
I love his swing so much.
It's
too.
so nice. I mean, and that's why I think if the Cardinals extend him, even though he's 32 after the season, I'm fine with it because he's a
got-
very sound hitter. He's like
is.
the John Lester of hitting, very quiet, just like very sound fundamentally.
He's just massive. His forearms are the biggest thing I've ever
Huge,
seen in my
enormous.
life. Yeah, it's
But-
ridiculous.
All right, this has been Illini Drive. Thank you for listening. Listen to Isaac, Eli, Tati, and Brian tomorrow. But Thank you for listening to us. We'll be back next week. Nathan, do you want to say it?
Yeah, Jake, hit the music.